Welcome back to TeaHouse Dives. For 5 episodes, this drama has been asking one question. Was Agent Kim really a traitor? Episode 5 finally answers it. And honestly, it made me see almost every previous episode differently. Because this isn't the story of a man who betrayed his best friend. It's the story of a man who has spent the last few years trying to keep one promise. Today, I want to talk about why survival, not revenge, is actually the central theme of episode 5. The misunderstanding finally ends. For several episodes, we believed Kim betrayed number 66. His younger brother believed it, North Korea believed it, but none of it was true. It felt like I was being manipulated exactly like his younger brother. For the last 4 episodes, when we saw Kim's flashback, they were fragmented. We didn't see the full picture of the explosion or the betrayal. I felt like the drama was using his trauma to blind us to the possibility that he was being played. And then we have director Ree. He built an entire lie. He knew that his love for his younger brother was his greatest weakness, so he weaponized it to turn the best soldier against the best spy. Usually, the trauma of a survivor is simply the guilt of being alive. But for Mr. Kim, his survival is an act of service. When number 66 tells him, "Promise me you'll survive," that is one of the most important lines in the drama. Mr. Kim isn't living because he's scared. He's living because someone asked him to. This is his duty to his past. The promise he made to his wife to live as Minchi's dad, it is his duty to his future. I find that these two promises have merged. In order to truly honor his wife's request to be a good father, he must use the survival skills he promised 66 to protect his daughter. We now get a better understanding of how he has lived his life. By fulfilling these two promises, he wasn't faking a normal life. He was living the most heroic life possible. Survival is inherited. When little Minchi gets trapped, she doesn't cry. She looks for a window. She shouts for help. When she's freezing, she doesn't give up. She leaves clues, she keeps on moving, and she repeats, "I'm going home." That's exactly what her father has done for so many years. She has inherited his resilience, not because he trained her, but because she watched him. All her life, she has watched her father remain calm under pressure, solve problems, and hide his pain. And something interesting that I found is that Mr. Kim has spent his life escaping the North, hiding in the bank, fighting, trying to find his daughter now, while Minji represents the end of that cycle. She isn't trying to stay alive. She's trying to return to the life her father built for her. She's going home. Number 66 gave Mr. Kim the physical tools to survive. Mr. Kim gave his daughter the mental tools to survive by letting her witness his own quiet endurance. Minchi is now using those tools to rewrite her own fate. Her resilience has no trauma from a past life. She is the ultimate victory of Mr. Kim's parenting. He gave her the strength to survive without forcing her to live in the shadows. The true friendship of 66 and 73. Their friendship is beautiful. Earlier episodes showed rivalry. Episode 5 shows us affection. Notice the symmetry that is happening here. When they were children, 66 shared food. He understood that survival is a team sport. Now Kim shares his food. Same dialogue, same joke, except now they're equals. The director wanted them to be wild animals who fight for scraps, but instead they chose to share. It shows that despite the years of brutal training, they never lost their sense of self. They pushed each other to be better so that they could both survive. I remembered your name. This might be the most emotional line. Everyone forgot names. Everyone became numbers. Yet 66 remembered Kim's name. Because remembering someone's name means remembering they are human. The director can own the body, but he cannot own their identity. Director Ree created two tragedies. He lied to 66's younger brother. He lied to Kim. He lied to everyone. The real villain isn't Kim. is the man who keeps manufacturing enemies. He doesn't need to pull a trigger. He just needs to tell a lie, and he knows a broken heart will do the rest. He is the one who keeps a cycle of numbers going. He uses deception as a weapon to keep everyone else fighting so he can remain on top. He doesn't just want Mr. Kim dead, he wants him to die hated. If Kim dies at the hands of 66 brother, the truth of the orphanage dies with him. Minchi understands her father now. We have beautiful flashbacks. Earlier she was embarrassed. Now she remembers. A parent's pride doesn't matter. Now she understands. Parents sacrificed dignity. It was total surrender of his pride for her safety. She finally understands that her father didn't kneel for the chairman. He knelt for her. He was being a shield. In the physical cold, she finds the warmth of her father's love. She isn't just surviving because she wants to live. She is surviving because she wants to validate his sacrifice. She realizes if she dies, his humiliation would have been for nothing. Children don't fully understand until later. This becomes emotional because she's repeating his lesson to herself while she's trying to survive. Chairman Chu is terrifying. One thing I've noticed is that he never panics, he simply adapts. Golden teeth becomes expandable. The moment they fail or the moments they become a liability, they become trash. Chief Nam eventually he'll become expandable as well. Just like the security guard, the gangsters, everything is a chess piece for him. The chairman literally calls Minchi a useful advantage, not a child, an asset. Notice the contrast. He doesn't care that his daughter tried to commit a crime. I think this is one of the coldest, calculated moments of this episode. Mr. Kim sees his daughter, a life to protect. The chairman sees a bargaining chip, not a child. He sees a puzzle piece that just fell in his lap. He thinks he's lucky. He thinks his daughter is blessed. He doesn't realize he's actually a monster. That perfectly summarizes both fathers. Episode 5 finally tells us that Mr. Kim isn't running because he's guilty. He's running because he made two promises. One to number 66, to survive, and one to his wife, to live as Minchi's father. Every fight, every bullet, every impossible decision he's made comes back to those two promises. That's why I think episode 5 is the emotional heart of Agent Kim Reactivated. One thing this episode made me think about is how sometimes surviving can feel like carrying a burden instead of receiving a gift. Survivor's guilt is real. Kim survived because his friend asked him to. That means every day he wakes up is another day he has to carry the memory of those who didn't survive. Maybe that's why becoming Minchi's father wasn't just a way to start over or hide from his past. It was finally finding a reason why surviving actually mattered. He transformed the burden of staying alive into the mission of giving life to someone else. And that, I think, is the most heroic thing a former spy can do. It was finally finding a reason that surviving mattered.